Hey everyone, welcome to our show Timeout. I'm your host Trey with my co-host, my brother Noah Avant, and this is the two-man webcast that discusses sports and entertainment. Before we begin, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. Just look for @Boca Tribune on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. Huddle up, it's time for a timeout. All right, folks, before we begin, I know it's kind of hard to see, but me and Noah are repping our home team right now, the Miami Heat. I got the Dwayne Wade special.
Yeah, I got the Jimmy Butler swingman jersey. You know the vibes.
Yep. I mean, we're going to be talking about a lot of Heat today, but we're also going to talk about all the other teams in the NBA like we usually do. But with that being said, the trade deadline is quickly approaching. What are some potential trades you would like to see?
Off the top, I really want to see an Andre Drummond trade. I'm calling what you want, Andre. If you ever watch the Timeout, I'm one of your biggest fans. I want to see you be great. Come to Miami, but more so than anything, I want to see Andre Drummond trade. I feel like that's going to be a move for them because Cleveland really isn't having that bad of a season. Another trade I can see is probably Malik Monk from Charlotte, where they're actually playing at a pretty good level, and they're more than likely going to be in the tournament for that buy-in. I mean, that play-in. I expect to maybe see Malik Monk get moved, maybe for some additional help on the three-point line, or maybe just a upgrade at the position. What about you, Trey?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do believe Andre Drummond will probably get traded, but he won't be with the Cavaliers at the end of the season. Whether he gets bought out or traded, he won't be with the Cavaliers. John Collins, he could get traded, but it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't seem like he might be with the Hawks at the end of the season, but I don't think he'll be with the Hawks next season. I just think they're ready to move on from him. Especially if a team signs him to a fat contract in free agency, he's going to be a restricted free agent. So the Hawks could match it if it's a good enough deal for them to match it. But like we said before, like you and me spoke prior, $28 million is that's what it's looking like right now. For at least just the first year, $28 million for John Collins, and the Hawks might not match that. What are your thoughts on that?
28 M's a year?
And he would when he enters free agency, he'd be by far the best power forward on the market. Well, no, because it's 2021, so they don't have like Anthony Davis. In restricted free agency, he'd be the best in restricted free agency, not free agency in total. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, as an RFA, definitely. But the issue with that is this: do you really want to pay 28 M's to a guy who, may or may not be that guy for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a where he has played and he has exhibited such great talent. I don't know if $28 million is something I would want to do, at least not long term. Maybe I would give him like a 2-year contract, see where he's at, and then that extension would be a rather hefty one. I pay him then at that point, but really it's just let's see what you're gonna do. It can really go either way with John Collins, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Where he can go, I know everybody in the Heat fan pages, and they all saying he could come to Miami, but honestly, I could see him in Dallas. I would not be mad at him in a Dallas uniform because I think
for
and KP,
for Porzingis,
Trae Young and KP.
I mean, yeah, that would be nice. But I mean, if KP isn't really playing that well with Luka, how do you think that would change with him playing with Trae Young?
Well, I mean, let's be real. When KP when Kristaps was in New York, he was the man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was his team. And now you go to a team like Dallas, that's no longer the case. I feel like what Kristaps' problem was that he did not adjust to that team well. And that's all it is too. I mean, honestly, I think that's somebody that Miami should consider going for at some point.
But you want Miami to go after everyone.
I understand that. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. Imagine Bam and KP low post. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that would be nice. That'd be
That's
nice.
ridiculous. I
But
mean,
it depends on what the Mavericks want for him.
I wouldn't give him Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But I give him some draft picks for sure. I'll give him Duncan. I give him Duncan for sure. Maybe even Precious. We'll throw Precious in there. You can have him. But I'm not giving up Hero. No, not for somebody who's injured a lot. Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is a guy that could end up in South Beach.
He's already halfway there. Playing in Tampa.
He is in Tampa. And honestly, before he signed the extension with Toronto, that was a destination for Kyle Lowry. You know, it seems like a lot of the guys that when they make that call saying they want to come to Miami, somehow or another they end up in Miami. Look at Jimmy. Jimmy had the same situation. You know, so I mean, it could be interesting to see. The trade deadline is coming up next month, 2 weeks.
Yes, March.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what's going on.
But I know you said you wanted you could see Lowry
in Philly.
Philly.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for Philadelphia, it's now or never. I really feel like this is gonna be the best that team is gonna be for a while.
I mean, yeah, they're the best team in the East right now.
Yeah, like this is their ceiling. Like if they're gonna make it to the finals any year, this is their year. And when I say the finals, I mean either the Eastern Conference Finals or the finals, the NBA Finals. Like they have
to make it to the NBA Finals. They have to.
Like that. This is their year. This is their year. Because honestly,
look at how Embiid is playing. Embiid is playing like prime Shaq.
Like
he's averaging 30 points a game and like 12 rebounds. That's Shaq numbers.
Like, bro is really playing his butt off. And honestly, if they don't make the finals,
you gotta break it up.
Expect to see a Ben Simmons trade.
You gotta break it up.
I expect to see Ben Simmons get moved. If they were to trade Joel Embiid, this is a rebuild. Because at this point, how Joel Embiid is playing, that's Joel Embiid's team. Everybody was, it's Ben Simmons' team. Oh. No, this is Joel Embiid's team. It's been Joel Embiid's team for a while now, and I feel like now he's really showing how this is his team. And if I'm Philly, that's what I'm trading. I'm trading Ben Simmons.
What do you think about the effect that Doc Rivers has had on that team?
Oh man, it shows when you actually have a coach that is qualified, and I feel like Doc Rivers even has a lot to prove. Doc Rivers has a chip on his shoulder because he went from the Clippers, who were supposed to be a shoo-in, to the Sixers, and he has to show them, look, it's not me. It wasn't me. He's doing everything he can right now, in Philly. And much credit to him. And honestly, they all have a chip on their shoulder because despite how great they are, nobody's putting them in the finals. Everybody's saying Brooklyn. Everybody says Boston. You know, but nobody has said Philly. Or I don't feel like a lot of people are giving Philly enough credit. So,
but speaking of Boston, Boston's really struggling right now.
Yeah.
15 and 17.
The thing with Boston is they don't have a big man. That when you don't have that center, as great as small ball is, but Jason Tatum is not a power forward. They got that's dead. That is dead in the water. Offensively, yes, that's perfect. Because if you have a small ball lineup and you have John Collins on Jason Tatum, yeah, good luck. He's gonna get his. But when you play in a team where you have a pretty good big man, you have a set post, good luck. Like honestly, like I feel like even with Brooklyn, I know I said on the show that I could see Boston beating Brooklyn. But they are at this point now, like you said, they're 15 to 17. They're going to have to play hard. I haven't really gotten a chance to look around at their schedule, but I imagine it's going to be it's going to be pretty tough at some spots of it. Then you have to play in a play-in tournament if they're not an 8 seed. So it's like it's gonna really be tough. It's really gonna be hard for them to really at this point make it to that point. Now, if they were to manage to get a Andre Drummond, or even maybe even if they can get John Collins, just somebody that can actually play the post, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps, but Boston is really stinking it up right now. They got to step it up. But I mean, even the Lakers are even on the slump right now.
Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the Lakers and the Celtics, right? So the Lakers, they kind of have an excuse because Anthony Davis is out.
Right.
Once he gets back, the Lakers should be fine. With the Celtics, I mean, I've seen a lot of people put Brad Stevens on the hot seat.
Look at the team. I mean, that's not fair. It's the same thing last year with Nate McMillan. Look at the team y'all give him, and y'all expect him to do something with that. Like, granted, Brad Stevens is in a better situation than Nate McMillan was. But at the same time, you don't give him it's off season. You don't sign any big man. You give him Tristan Thompson. Right. Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson just got little boyed by Zion. I mean, granted, Zion little boys everybody, but you are an NBA champion, Tristan. What do you got going on? Like, you can't be Sharman in the paint. That's why they got you there. They got you there to play big man.
Mm-hmm.
Theus, whatever the heck his name is, he stinks. Like, what do you have for this team?
Mm-hmm.
You got a team full of guards. At some point, and as much as they don't want to do this, they're gonna break up all those guards. They're gonna
that was their downfall when they played Heat. Bam Adebayo was cooking them.
You play a big man, that's gonna be good. What's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you really have to put things in perspective. Somebody's gonna have to go. And that somebody, they might trade Marcus Smart somewhere. They might keep Marcus Smart. But who I think is really going to leave is Jaylen Brown.
Why you say that?
Because Jason Tatum is their guy. If they were to trade Jason Tatum, that's rebuild. That screams, hey guys, we're rebuilding. Come take us home. What do y'all want? That's what that screams to me. So you have Jaylen Brown, who's still really good, but that's not his team. Mm-hmm. You can still get some pretty good assets for Jaylen Brown.
Like, who do you think they would go after? Because Jaylen Brown's a really good player, so that means they would get a really good player in return. And you said big man, so who do you think they could possibly go after? Maybe Rudy Gobert?
I don't see Rudy leaving. I say this, and this might sound crazy, but maybe even a Joel Embiid, because odds are there.
You just said that the Sixers wouldn't trade Joel Embiid.
But hear me out. Why not offer? If you, like I said, you can keep Jaylen Brown. You can keep Jaylen Brown, trade Jason Tatum, have Jason Tatum and Ben Simmons in Philly, and you got Joel Embiid.
I mean, I guess, but that would be going backwards for the Sixers. I mean, it would. I mean, it's hard to say because we don't really know how that tandem would work. But when you're first in the East, why would you do such a drastic trade like that?
At the end of the day, you have an angry superstar, bro.
But who's the angry superstar?
It'd be Joel Embiid. I mean, if I was Joel Embiid, I'd be pretty irritated too.
How?
Because listen, they played against Toronto. Lost. Kawhi Leonard. Heartbreaking bucket. That hurt. Okay. Last year, Ben Simmons got hurt. Whatever. This year, averaging 30 points just about. 12. You averaging a double-double? And I don't make it to the finals? I gotta go.
Are you talking about in the future? Like, you're not talking about the trade deadline coming up now.
No, not right now. Not right now. This is just future term. These are future
like next season.
This is like this could be 2 or 3 seasons from now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about right now. Let me clarify that. Not right now. I mean, for the deadline, I'm not seeing them trading Jaylen Brown. No, they're gonna keep running with these guys. Because at the end of the day, I strongly believe that they can shock the world and beat the Brooklyn Nets.
Until the Nets get a big man.
Yeah, and frankly, that's something I don't want to see because that team already is too good.
Yeah,
like Kyrie Irving, like I want to see LeBron. Oh, Kyrie now.
you got a little too much dip on your chip.
Hey, look, the chip broke in the dip. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Tostitos.
But moving on, man, the All-Star teams are finally set. Who are some people you were glad that made it in, and who are some people who are snubs?
Well, shout out to my boy Zach LaVine and Brad Beal. I mean,
Yes,
I'm
sir. They
happy for
definitely
them.
deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was like, Devin Booker, he finally got added in. He got snubbed.
He was a snub.
That was huge. That was crazy. I mean, everybody else was really up for debate. Everybody's like Trey Young. That was a snub. Like, yeah, I guess.
But when you see who the people who made it, the guards
The
who made it in
bonus.
ahead of him.
Now look, the bonus. He should have. That was a snub.
But he was like 2012 and 5, 2010 and 5 or something like that.
He definitely should have had. They definitely dropped the ball with him.
Yeah, they put Vucevic over him.
That's comical.
Vucevic. I mean, Vucevic's good, but he's not better than Sabonis right now. Adebayo, snub to a certain extent.
No extent. Before February, I truly cannot say Bam was an all-star.
No, Bam was playing good. I mean, I can understand how Jimmy didn't make it. Jimmy missed too many games, but Bam was playing good by himself. Like it's not his fault that the Heat were losing games.
I'm not gonna say it's his fault, but bro, that's the max player, bro. And there were some games he's not playing aggressive enough.
Yeah.
And it's changing. Maybe him and Jimmy on the floor gives him better chemistry, like gives him more of a like, okay, we got to get this rolling now. You know what I'm saying? I got a battle buddy now. And I can imagine Hero is good, but it's not like having Jimmy on the floor. Because Jimmy brings a certain swagger and charisma in his game that it really energizes the Heat. But like when it comes down to like Bam himself, I expected more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he does rise to the occasion in the playoffs, so I can't be too mad at that. You know, Bam's numbers tend to go up, so pretty decent amount come postseason. So I mean, hey, look, you can play lackadaisical all you want to in the regular season. I mean, I really want him to play more aggressive because I really see him being, in my opinion, Bam is a top 10 big man, arguably top 5 when he plays like he should.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand he likes passing the ball and, you know, being a facilitator, but that's not what we need to see.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see Bam having 25 and 12 nights because that's what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can get your assistant because I know he's gonna get his assistant regardless. Because Bam's ability to dribble and move up the court is very good, especially coming from a big man.
He's our primary playmaker, primary facilitator.
For sure. Like that's what he does. You know, so I mean, yeah, he gonna get his assists. I never worry about Bam getting at least 5 assists a game. Never worried about that. But I want to see more points and rebounds from Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Before I can consider him a snub in the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said with Jimmy, COVID. But since Jimmy's been back, Jimmy has been hooping. So I have nothing bad to say about Jimmy. Jimmy shows that look, I'm the max player on this team too.
Yeah, he's been pretty much flawless since he came back. And his 3-point shot is falling too.
I love it. I really love it.
So he's been dominating. But when it comes to the starters, there was some debate going on with Luka and Damian Lillard. Luka got the start over Dame. A lot of people did not agree with that.
bro.
Even Luca didn't agree with that. Luca said Dame should have been a starter.
It goes back to it goes back to this one principle. You cannot let the fans. I feel like it's opposite. I feel like the coaches should pick the starters, and the fans should pick the reserves. I feel like the coaches might do a better job in picking starters than reserves because Damian Lillard has been hooping, bro. He's like I said, he's MVP. He's an MVP candidate in my eyes. He may not win over LeBron, because it's LeBron. That's what LeBron do. The league has been holding LeBron back for years, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But for Dame to not start in the All-Star game, that's comical.
Mm-hmm.
And then more so, John Morant didn't even make the All-Star team.
Yeah, but when you look at the guards out west, man, it makes sense. The West has always been extremely difficult for guards to make it into the All-Star game. You know how many times Damian Lillard has been snubbed. Look at Devin Booker. Devin Booker
Right.
got snubbed. It's
Right.
it's crazy hard for guards out west to make it to the All-Star team.
It's crazy. Honestly, the whole All-Star game set up, like how they come up with this stuff, is funny. I really feel like if they were to I just don't think fans should pick the starters. Even if that's the case, it should be based off of like stats. Like whose stats are better? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, these are you guys you want to starters, cool. Let's go off the stats and we'll pick the starter from here.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if they're still doing the fantasy draft with I guess LeBron and KD since they had the most votes?
I do not know about that one per se. I had to go check back in. But I do know they're gonna have like the festivities, so I think they're gonna have like a dunk contest or a 3-point contest.
Yeah, those are gonna happen at halftime.
Yeah,
but
but
that should be fun.
Yeah, moving forward with commercial, don't we?
No, we still have to talk about one more thing. The standings, the league schedule, the second half of the schedule.
So, what were your thoughts on that? I mean, honestly, I looked at the schedule. Our schedule's pretty light. Like, we could really be making push for that 4th seed, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to look at the schedule. I know the Jazz. I heard the Jazz have a really difficult schedule, and they're first in the West. So we'll see what happens there. See what they're really made of.
The Lakers got like 8 back-to-backs. Like
you said, the Lakers?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They have something crazy. It's like 6 or 8 back-to-back games. Like that's ridiculous.
And they hate LeBron. But I mean, do I think the standings will change? Obviously, yeah. And we got to see what happens with the trade deadline and the buyout market and stuff. I don't think any like humongous trades are going to happen, like a Ben Simmons trade or something. I don't know. But I do think with the play-in tournament, like teams that are like on the bubble, like the Hornets can make some noise. The Timberwolves, they can make some noise. Thunder, the Rockets have slipped, so the Rockets kind of out of there right now. But I am a big fan right now of the way the Hornets are playing. The Celtics will get better. The Celtics will definitely get better. Yeah, that's about it right now. Grizzlies, What are your thoughts?
I think LaMelo Ball has really been instrumental for this Hornets team. And I feel like this tournament is going to be the real like what is Charlotte really good. And truthfully, I know we got to go to commercial. LaMelo Ball in this tournament is going to shock a lot of people. I don't think he's going to do bad. I really think he's going to play good. He's going to put them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me thinking right now.
I mean, he could win Rookie of the Year. He has the best stats.
He is going to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, unless someone like Anthony Edwards goes crazy in the second half of the season, but I don't think he will.
Edwards is good. Edwards is a really good guy. He's a really good possibility, but how LaMelo Ball has been hooping, it'd be a disjustice to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. He's clearly head and shoulders above all the rookies and his brother. But We're going to commercial. You are watching Timeout with the Avant Bros. If you enjoy the show, please click the share button to share the stream with all your friends. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. See you soon.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.
Welcome back, everyone. Moving on to the NFL, J.J. Watt has received offers from around half the teams in the NFL. Some of those teams are offering J.J. Watt $15 to $16 million a year. And teams most commonly linked to him are the Bills, the Browns, and the Steelers. So, Noah, my question to you is, what are your thoughts on the future of J.J. Watt?
If I'm J.J. Watt, I'm going to either the Bills, the Browns, or the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to list them in order, the Browns, the Bucks, then the Bills. Let's start at the top. The Browns with Myles Garrett and J.J. Watt, good luck. Like that's a double team on the outside, and then you literally just have your center praying that the linebackers are not trying to attack them, because you can't stop that. They're rushing your edge. They're going to have to double team them. Good luck. So, I mean, any type of running, deep bombs, good luck. I say the Bucks because obviously J.J. Watt is up there in age. He's getting up there to that point where he might lose his effectiveness because he's getting older. And let's be real. That Bucks team with J.J. Watt is a problem. We've seen what they've done, what they did last year. I mean, this year in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And like I said, where he is older, he's basically guaranteed a Super Bowl with that team. At the very least, an appearance. Because there's no teams in the NFC stopping that. That pass rush. That's just being real. And then the Bills. The Buffalo Bills, that defense is not bad at all. I feel like, adding a sense of balance, that's probably one of the most balanced defenses in the AFC. So, I mean, seeing him in the Bills jersey would not surprise me. Now, a lot of think this will probably shock a lot of people, but I don't see him playing with the Steelers.
You don't see him going to Steelers with his brother?
Why?
I mean, me personally, I feel like going back to the $15-16 million per year for J.J. Watt, I think that's really stupid because J.J. Watt plays Like JJ Watt misses like 10 games a year. Now he's super injury prone. He's older now. When he's
That's
on
what
the
I'm
field,
saying.
when he's on the field, he's still good. He's not elite
Mm-hmm.
anymore, but he's still a
Mm-hmm.
really good defensive end. And so, with that being said, like with everything I just said, I feel like JJ Watt is pretty much in the last stage of his career. Maybe have like a couple seasons left. Why not spend it with your brother, who's also an elite defensive end?
He is a very good defensive end, but let's talk about that Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
But he's not
And
going there for the offense.
huh?
He's not going there for the offense.
But that's what you need to go to the point that you're trying to go to, the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's the only reason why I don't put them on the list. I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is not because I used to be a fan and I don't like them anymore because they didn't draft Jalen Hurts. I already know the fans, the lovely viewers at home are going to be saying Noah just hates the Steelers. I do not think he would be successful there. The defense is good. The defense was good last year. They're going to be great with J.J. Watt and sitting at home because the offense couldn't put points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you got to go to a team that's going to help you get to the point you've been dying to see ever since you were a kid. And frankly, that's not the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's just me being 100% honest with you. Frankly, that Pittsburgh Steelers team is not making it to the Super Bowl no time soon. And him signing to the Steelers would be him saying, okay, I just want to play with my brother because that's something we always talked about as kids. That's just how I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Watch
my 2 cents on that.
Watch when he signs the Rams.
Why not?
The Rams got money for days. I don't know. I
That's
don't know
a
where they
team.
get.
Look, and honestly, I said it. I can see them in the Super Bowl. They just got Matt Stafford. That defense is not bad. Trey, that would not be a bad move for him. But both of those teams are better than the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Or I can see him maybe with the Niners.
No. Absolutely not. He wants to win.
Okay, Garoppolo gonna be back healthy. Everybody gonna be back healthy. They're gonna be with Nick. He gonna be with Nick Bosa. Now you can't tell me that JJ Watt Nick Bosa combo ain't crazy. You gonna tell me it's not crazy?
Trey, what does face say?
That you're hating on Jimmy Garoppolo?
No, this face says that was some crazy stuff you just said.
You only said that when I said Jimmy Garoppolo.
Bro, they are not going to win, bro. No. So
okay, so they were the same team as last year, but everybody got hurt.
Trey.
And they ended up missing the playoffs. But the year before that, they made Super Bowl. So your point is
Tom Brady is my point.
So you're saying that no team in the NFC. So who you said before? So you're saying no team in the NFC has a chance.
The Rams. The NFC Championship will be the Rams and the Buccaneers.
Oh, so that should be your hot take.
Nah, that's facts. So, bro.
So forget the Seahawks or the Packers.
Okay, well, the Seahawks are about to shoot themselves in the foot by trading Russell Wilson.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Well, if they don't trade Russell Wilson, maybe we might be all right then. We might have something to talk about. What the Seahawks need is a defense. They need to go back. They need to work on that secondary. That's what they need to work on. You know what I'm saying? And that the years of Richard Sherman and Errol Thomas and what's my man's name? Cam Chancellor, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
They need to call it Avengers or something. But like they call it Avengers or something. Like it's not working. But like, no. It will be the Rams and the Bucks. That's gonna be it.
Okay.
That's facts. It might be. Hey, look, Aaron Rodgers might mess around and surprise us next year and try to get his face back, get Tom Brady, and Tom Brady gonna slap him down again. But Rams, Buccaneers, Chiefs, Browns.
Ooh, the Ravens not even there no more.
Bro, unless the Ravens get Lamar some receivers, I just don't see it happening.
Or the Dolphins.
The Dolphins is gonna be in the they gonna try. We gonna lose to the Browns.
It depends on what they do in free agency in the draft. Depends what they do in the offseason.
Nah, listen. If JJ Watt signs to the Browns, it's gonna be the Chiefs and the Browns, bro.
I mean, like I said,
no other way around it, bro.
Like I said, JJ Watt play like 6 games a year.
Yeah, and if he play all 6 in the playoffs, what are we gonna do then? And on top of that, I don't even think he's gotten that far with the Texans. How many playoff appearances does he have with the Texans?
I mean, he's had a couple, but they don't really get out of it. They don't get out of like the wild card or the division.
Exactly. So I make it out the wild card. Hey, look, I'm playing my butt off because he knows his career is on 2%. Is on 10%. He got the little your phone charging is 10% up there. Yeah, that's what his career is on right now. So he's gonna play his butt off. Even when he was before he left Houston, he had that. Listen, if you don't want to be here attitude, don't be here. Like he really wants to win. So I don't see many teams. I don't see really much stopping him. I'd imagine he's gonna take this offseason to get his body right, to get his mind right, so he can go out there and play the best that he can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's gonna be really interesting to see what's going on, though.
But speaking of the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, he could get traded. There are talks that he's unhappy in Seattle with, lack of protection from his offensive line, lack of say in personnel decisions. Sounds very similar to the situation in Houston with Deshaun Watson. Now, the thing is, Russell Wilson wants to stay in Seattle. Seattle wants Russell Wilson to stay. But Russell Wilson and his representatives are listening to offers from other teams. And those teams include the Saints, the Jets, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Dolphins. So, with that being said, Noah, what are your thoughts on the Russell Wilson situation?
This can go a couple ways. Now, granted, since the Seahawks do want to keep Russell Wilson, I'd imagine they're going to want a lot for him. So, I mean, if that's the case and you want the best offer possible, you're sending him to either New York or you're sending him to Miami. You know, in my opinion, because you're going to get Sam Darnold, number 2 pick, maybe even the 23rd. That was their original pick. You get Tua. You get 2 in the 3rd. That's not bad. But I mean, at the same time, if you want to put him in a really good position, which again shoots you in the foot, you're sending him to New Orleans. But you're going to want to get something good in return. And hopefully that something good is Alvin Kamara.
No. But the whole point is putting him with Alvin Kamara. That's the whole point of the trade. Because then you're just going backwards. If you just trade him there, there's no Alvin Kamara.
But listen, they're still in. That's why I say like the Saints trade. This doesn't make sense to me because like they're in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to fathom that. Now, granted, they might, but so are the Bears, and somehow or another the Bears made it on his list. So did the Cowboys. So, I mean, I could even see him in Dallas because the Cowboys have an outstanding receiving core. Mm-hmm. They just got bad luck every year. So, I mean, maybe, he'll go over there, touch hands with, say a word of prayer with Jerry Jones and Zeke. My boy Russ is a very God-fearing man, so sprinkle a little bit of Jesus in there. And maybe they might mess around and break their curse because
they're struggling. They're struggling. Russell Wilson could definitely help them out. But
it just sucks because like they'll have a decent team on paper every year, and it just it's like the ice cream cone sitting outside on a hot summer day in Miami. It just melts.
They always fold some way somehow, and it's sometimes it's not their fault.
It's
very similar to the Packers. Like they're a very talented team. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, one of the greatest of all time. Same thing with the Saints as well, and they just fold. Same thing with Peyton Manning. His whole career, he just folds. He just folds.
And I want to see Russ hold up the Lombardi one more time. So I mean, if that's the case, if New Orleans can get him down there and keep Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, I think the city of Saints is gonna be dancing again. I think the Saints gonna be marching in one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But let's step out of bounds real quick.
Okay, what you got for me, Noah?
My boy Bobby Schmeider free. They messed around and free Bobby. You know, so I'm excited, man. You know, I know when you were probably in middle school when Hot Boy came out.
Yes, I was in like 7th or 8th grade.
Bro, I know you remember the dances, man. Like Odell. It was so I remember like when he dropped this album, bro. It's all we heard in the locker rooms. Like it's all we heard in the locker rooms. You know, the Bobby song and Hot Boy. And these are clean versions because this is a family show. You know, it was just it's just good to see him out. And you know, knowing that he took charges, you know, and his homeboy took charges, you know, so that way they would get less different sentences is stand up. But who are you interested in seeing and working with? I want to see him work with.
I want to see him work with Kodak. Yeah, it has to be someone that kind of flows with him. So I mean, I want to see him work with Kodak, but I can see people like Meek Mill hitting him up. No. Drake is definitely gonna hit him up because Drake hits up everybody. But I'll say Kodak.
Definitely, that's gonna be interesting to see. But speaking of hot, we got some hot takes. Trey, lead the way.
I believe the Miami Dolphins will trade for Russell Wilson. Tua will be involved in that trade. I believe the Dolphins would trade both their first-round picks, both their second-round picks, and a first-round pick next year because Russell Wilson is probably a top 3 quarterback right now. That's a lot to give up for a player. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Me personally, Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, but that's a lot to give up for a player, especially one who's 33 years old, making $40 million a year. When you can get Deshaun Watson for less. But I just feel like the Dolphins will make that trade, you know, just to push them into the upper stratosphere. Because even Devontae Smith said, I'd rather choose Mac Jones. I prefer Mac Jones over Tua. And Tua is superior to Mac Jones, supposedly.
That hurt your heart, didn't it?
It did hurt my heart. I was like, man, if he's saying that about Tua, then is Tua really that good?
Hey, man, I don't know. That was hot. That was real hot. You see, I had to wipe the sweat off my forehead.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I do see us trading this third pick, but I don't believe that it will. I don't necessarily know whether Tua will be included with it. It's been a lot of talks of Miami trading it either to Houston, now Seattle. You know, having a third pick and Miami having the need for receivers and, you know, offensive line. I do see potentially that this year's third round pick, or maybe even a future first round pick, because we have so many, you know, could be potentially on the move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it will really just depend on one, you know, how we play, because our first round draft picks are essentially based on how good we play. And if we do as good as I think we will, this hot take won't be this hot take just got spicy. But if we do end up trading the third pick and somehow or another we don't make any off-season moves and we lose Tua, those picks could be pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow us on Instagram at @the_timeout7. Follow me on my personal Twitter @Trayvon3.
You can follow me on Instagram at ArtBuilderNoah. You can follow me on Twitter at WhoBuildsArts.
Timeout airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. As always, this is the Avant Bros signing off.
Yeet.